beginning probably in the late 80s, we began sort of hearing more problems from college journalists who are being frustrated in their effort to get crime reports, typically based on FERPA. That was the justification that colleges and universities, one of the justifications they used most frequently. It all came to a head in, was it 88 or 89, when a student editor at Southwest Missouri State University, now Missouri State University, Tracy Bauer, sought access to information, a report about a sexual assault that occurred on campus, and was denied it based on FERPA. And she came to the Student Press Law Center and said, you know, what can I do? And we felt like she had a really compelling case, because in her situation the school had routinely been giving access to police incident reports before that time, but because of this incident, which involved allegedly an athlete, they didn't want to give it, and decided they were going to cut off access to all incident reports as a result of this. We helped Tracy Bauer bring a claim against her school in court, and she was successful. The court ultimately ruled that these records were not covered by FERPA, campus crime reports were not covered by FERPA, and the school, under the Missouri Open Records Law, had to release them. That really, I think, was a watershed, and within a matter of months, really, we had a couple of other very strong actions going in other places, and eventually it sort of expanded nationwide. As a result of the Tracy Bauer lawsuit, one of the things we volunteered to do, the Student Press Law Center volunteered to do to help the student editor there in her lawsuit, was show how other colleges and universities were now and had routinely been releasing campus police incident reports and arrest logs without any sort of FERPA problem. Sort of to counter the university's argument, oh, we're going to get in FERPA trouble if we release these police reports, despite the fact they had been releasing them for, you know, months, if not years, before this incident came up. So we surveyed a handful of schools, a couple dozen schools around the country, to find out, were they releasing police reports and incident logs that had personally identified individual students, and if so, had they ever been threatened with loss of federal funding, which is the penalty under FERPA for violation of it. And the answer was no. And you know, so again, we had these couple dozen schools that responded to our survey and confirmed this. And I actually testified as an expert witness in the Tracy Bauer court case in Missouri to that effect, describing this. Well, when I made that testimony, the Department of Education, actually an official from the Department of Education was there to testify on behalf of the university. They heard our testimony and well, I shouldn't say immediately, within a few weeks, contacted all the schools we had surveyed and said, you may be in violation of FERPA. If you're releasing police reports that identify individual students, you may be violating FERPA. So without any initiative by anyone, which is not the way the Department of Education is supposed to act on these issues, they actually threatened these schools, and that resulted in quite a hubbub. What the immediate result was a letter of protest from the SPLC and others objecting very strongly to the Department of Education's intervention on behalf of those institutions that might want to cover up campus crime. But it eventually resulted the following year in the well, actually it was later that year, October of '91, the Student Press Law Center and 3 college journalists from around the country filing a lawsuit against the Department of Education, contesting their interpretation and their threatened enforcement of FERPA, which was another case that we won, and the Federal District Court in DC saying that their actions were a violation of the First Amendment.